Hey, it's Michael Saul, also known as Tiny, with the stock market video for the week of October 21st, 2013. So let's take a look at what happened last week. Well, we had a down day on Tuesday, but the rest of the days we were just up, 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 and then a narrow range day on Friday. Of course, if you add in the gap, it wasn't that narrow, but compared to the other days where the real body had some nice movement on it, some nice range on it, rather. It was a relatively narrow range. Now, the S&P finished at new highs. The Russell finished at new highs. The mid-caps finished at new highs. The NASDAQ finished at multi-year highs and at the 62% retracement of the big monthly, I guess, cascade or cratering of the market after it hit its high back here in 2000. All right, so back up to the 62% retracement of that move. It only took, whatever, 13 years. Well, I guess it didn't stop till 2002. So it really only took, what is that, 11 years. All right. Anyway, so the only index that is lagging here is the Dow. And I'm not really concerned about that. Yeah, I would love to see the indexes in sync. I'd love to see the Russell and the mid cap and the Nasdaq leading out, and the SPY just going along, and then the Dow bringing up the rear. But we're not seeing that right here. I mean, the Nasdaq is kind of off in its own world. Not the Nasdaq, sorry, the Dow is kind of off in its own world here, as it has not even retested the highs, hasn't even gotten past the previous high, which was back here, or the high before that. So what is that telling us? Like I said, I'm not as concerned. I would be much more concerned if the SPY were lagging, or the NASDAQ, or the Russell, or the mid-caps. But the fact that these are all chugging along, there's the Russell, there's the mid-caps, okay, it's a good sign. So we're overboard here. We are definitely stretched, and to me, I would much rather see a pause here than a continued melt up. I think that we're entering into the parabolic zone. You could see here, I mean, look at the sharpness of this ascent here on the SPY. I mean, moves just don't continue like this for very much longer. Yes, they can continue. We can go higher. I'm not saying it's time to short here, but I would definitely be watchful on the long side here. Look for signs of profit taking. Lock in what you can, and then wait for the next pullback and see what sets up there. All right? That's the best way to play a market that is steaming here to the upside. I think just continuing to jump in and just sitting there with the Pollyannish attitude of everything's going to work out. I mean, okay, great. Maybe we do finish the year at new highs. We're probably not going to go straight up from here, though. All right, we're probably going to pause. And the pauses have been pretty decent. All right, these kind of pullbacks, I mean, these are pretty decent here. And they give an opportunity for those late to the party to get on board. The government shutdown was once again just, I mean, I don't know if it was technically a non-event because the market was under pressure until they started talking about how, oh, okay, we're coming to a deal. The market definitely rallied before the deal was made, and then it rallied afterwards. So it was kind of a buy the rumor, buy the news kind of move. So, the market, the bulls have definitely dug themselves in here. Definitely looking like we want to continue higher. I just think we need a pause first, okay? Last week, talked about Apple and how Apple broke out. It's heading into earnings. Just double check the date. I'm using Yahoo Finance, so sometimes they could be off a little bit with their earnings date, but I have it here. Give me a second here. I'll pause it, be right. Okay, so it says here October 28th, which is a week from Monday. And I would double check that, but it's coming up soon. Yahoo has been hit or miss with these earnings dates, but I mean, this is a pretty popular. It's basically, if it's not the most popular stock, it's in the top three So I don't know if they're going to get this wrong or not. But anyway, October 28th, it says. So could get a continued push up here. Got the highs up here at 513.74, then 520. The stock I want to look at today, though, is Potash. Okay, Potash has been in a downtrend since back here in 2011 when it topped out. Spent a lot of times going sideways, and then it finally had a big gap down that turned out to be a climax move in August as we got back on it, as it got back on its feet, so to say. Now it's above the short-term moving averages. It is in a consolidation here. This could be a corrective move, and we could wind up rolling back over to the downside here. But the way that it's trying to bang up against this trend line, I would watch this for a breakout. All right, you need confirmation on this. This isn't okay. You know, I just think pot's going to break out here. No, wait for the confirmation. Look to see if it can break out here, and then you have targets such as the gap fill, which is, well, the lap is actually at 37.90. That's the close of this bar. The low of this bar is 36.99. So it has some room to move if it's going to get there. And of course, as always, wait to break out. Full disclosure, I do not own any shares of Potash, and I will not be buying any ahead of this video coming out. Obviously, I'm doing this on a Saturday, and I'm not going to be buying this at the beginning of the week either. So just take a look at Potash, and I will talk to everybody next week. Have a great trading day on Monday and a great week. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at tiny@stockmarkettrendsex.com. My contact information is at the beginning of the video. I will talk to you soon.